All right, I decided that since step 2 involved basically finishing the cockpit, I'm just going to do step 1 and 2 together. So I've already cut out all the pieces for the first part of step 2. So I'm going to get those glued together, and then we're going to get the rest of all of this together and paint it and get the Quinta set going. So, I'm running out of room on my desk. Slowly but surely. All right, so went ahead and cut parts M11 and M13. And they press together real well, but I'm gonna go ahead and just run just a little bit of glue along the seam. Just kind of squeeze that together for a little bit. I have to pay attention to the parts because it says here, I squeeze hard trying to get that out. This part, M23, which goes apparently right like that. But if I'm not mistaken, M23 is also on the Quinta set. So it's saying that I need to, the little star says remove the relief from the kit part. So I'm gonna have to get all the knobs and dots and everything off of there because there's the fly that just visited me. Because 15, which is right there, is already, it already has all the relief and the screen. So that's what we're gonna do. While that is drying, we're gonna go scrape all that off, which is always a little scary for me because it's like, oh. I'm just gonna put it face down and scraping, sanding. There we go, all the relief. So that's got to be painted black. So we're gonna paint everything all at the same time. So we're gonna glue it together as one unit. All right. Then it requires off of the D sprue, not D sprue, but off of the D photo etch sprue, I've cut off part number 2. And it says it goes under here, which we can't use regular glue. So we're gonna just use a little bit of a little super glue. A little toothpick. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here. And just going to drop that right on there. And that just goes right on there. So get that all set up. All right, so 32, M32 I've already cut out. This little notch here goes in this little hole here. Okay, so it's really tight. So what I'm going to do is just kind of make the hole a little bit bigger. I don't want to break it, so I'm just trying to give a little bit of pressure. Then I'm just going to dab some glue in there and let it set up. So that is M32 in place. Now we're going to grab M33, which is on the other side. And it shoots across the board. I forgot a little piece of sprue off of that one. So thinking that that's also gonna probably be a little bit tight, I'm just gonna shave that one on the other side as well. And push that in, and another little bit of glue in there. And so we've got that part done, except for this itty bitty tiny piece right here, which is M12. And it goes down, where does it go? It goes on this little flat area here. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on there. And we're going to gently grab this so it doesn't ping across the room like it has. And then I had to find it. Oh my. Okay, we're just going to use our hand. No, we're not. There we go. Trying to align it. So, according to the, you know what? I'm looking at this all wrong. I had it upside down. That little tab literally has a hole there for it to go into. So it's always good that you look and make sure your orientation. So the tab goes in the little hole. And boom. Well, it kind of goes in the hole, so we're gonna, there we go. Little bit of manipulation. Okay, so there is the first part of step 2 done, which that's going to, I love to test fit stuff to see if it's gonna look good. That's gonna go into that area right there. So we'll shoot that all black and get the Quinta part on it, but we're gonna do the other parts of step 2 as well. So we're gonna jump over here. So we're gonna need M6, M15, M28, and M30. So I'm going to cut those out and be back with the magic of editing. And again, we have to remove the relief. Okay, so now I've cut this part out, but I still need to take the relief off of these screens also. So I'm going to work on that. All right, so after all that shaving and getting rid of all the detail for the Quinta set, I am now going to, so that's going to tuck underneath, creating kind of a lip, which I just understand it has some sink marks up under here that is going to be visible unless we take care of it. So I'm just going to try to hold that all together real quick. All right. That part's done. Now we have 2 itty bitty tiny pieces. Part M28 and M30. Whew, these parts are so tiny. And of course we have to take some of the relief off of this. Number 7 needs to come over on this little piece. So what little relief is on here, I don't know how people hold on to these things. All right. All right. Whew. This model is such a challenge for me in different areas, but yes, that this part is now done. Again, we have to paint it all before we do the Quintus. So now we're going to do this section, which is M18, M19, and M5. All right, so we're going to put M18, I'm trying to find where it attaches. There it is. So basically it just lays this point, land in these little notches right here. So it just lays right on those little notches. So now we're going to do the other one. All right, so we have this step done now. So now we have to cut M7 out, M29, which we're going to have to shave a lot of detail off because it has a lot of stuff to put on. So, sorry for the length of the video. I'm going to try to edit it so that way more of it's gone so you don't have to worry about it. So, this is a step that we just did, and we are now going to add some parts to it. So we need M31 and M27. Okay, so now we're going to add all right. That is another piece added to it. So now we have there we go. So now, okay, the rest of the parts we just have to cut out. M7 and M29, we have to paint those. There's no assembly until we actually glue them down into the cockpit. I was so excited to get done, I forgot that there's still 2 pieces left for that part. So that's what I'm working on now. All right. All pieces are ready for paint. We have everything shaved off of here. So all of our pieces are ready for some NATO black. And then we can do the Quintus and finish up the cockpit. So I'm gonna go sling some paint and I'll be back in a little bit. All right. In painting, I noticed that there was a part missing, which was this this glass piece right here, Q20, which the frame also has to be painted. So I'm going to go ahead and try to mask off the glass parts so that way I can get the frame perfectly done. So I'm just using a piece of masking tape, oversized, and just burnish down, find the different edges to trim by. Now on a car, I would probably just paint one side, but this is going to be seen from both sides. Well, I guess I'm cutting through my directions too. All right, so fill that up. And the frame is exposed on that side. So now I'm going to do the other side. I just want to make sure that it looks the same on both sides. Just trying to move it really slow along that little lip. With all good things that I'm hoping for, I should be able to shoot that with the NATO black, and that'll be done. So I'll be right back. All right, so got that shot. Let it dry a little bit before I take the tape off. So the first part But what I'm going to do right now is try to give these a little bit of a dry brushing with white. I use my unbleached titanium. It's not a pure white, it's almost like a little bit of a beige color, like a French gray. So, a little brush, a little bit of paint on it, and then rub as much as I can off of the brush. Barely any on there. And then I'm just going to lightly, and it just grabs those edges so nice. So I'm going to do all of this before I put the Quintas on there, just to give it a little bit more definition. Just kind of helps it pop out a little bit. So I'm going to do that on all of these. All right, dry brushing is done. The small windscreen came out good. So, put a glove on so I can glue it in place where it's supposed to be. So if we have that as the back, it's going to go in like that and sit down in there. And we get that going on. Okay. Had to adjust the camera, sorry about that. All right, so that is in. So we now are going to do our Quintas decals for the rest of the parts so we can get them installed and wrap up all of this. So the first one we're going to do is M23, which is, follow along, it's right here. It's part number 15. So we're going to, all right, so we're going to get a little bit of glue, a little bit of PVA glue. All right. And I like to do, a little bit of water, just to thin it out a little bit. And don't forget to wash out the brush, or else you'll have just one stiff gluey brush. All right, so we have, and it's gonna go right on here. So So we're going to drop it in the water. So we got that, and we'll get a little bit of glue on here. Just cover the area that's going to go on. And I've noticed it does not take that long for the water to react to these decals. And just take it, slide it off of there. I usually try to wash or wipe off the water just a little bit. All right, so we have that formatted right. Put it on the glue, set it up, and just like that, we got an awesome little screen. These things are just amazing. They really, really are. So that piece, once it all dries, will get glued down. It does go up. Looks the part, pretty cool. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put that in. Get it glued in. Just gotta figure out, does it go like... So make sure that's down where it's supposed to be. Then we'll let that dry. And now we're going to move on to the next part, which is this one here, which involves a lot of decals. It's this piece right here. So we need parts. I guess we'll just start up here. We'll need 20. All right, and like I said, it's a pretty good little system. Quintus has done such an amazing job on these. It's just, it takes time, but anything worth it always takes time. So we're doing 20, which is this panel right here. So we're just going to follow around. 7. It just makes such a world of difference. Probably boring to watch, so I'll probably speed up a lot of this. Or better yet, I'll finish this piece and come back. All right, so we got the next part done. Everything's as it should be according to directions. So then we take that section and test fit it real quick because it's supposed to go. Got 2 little holes here and here, and a notch here and here. So it basically goes right on those. So what I'm going to do that, I'll use some glue. So if you're following along with me, I would not use super glue on this section here so it's a little more flexible, because apparently there has to be some give. So when I put this part on, I'm going to have to hold it down so it's flush. But again, golly, I mean, look at that. That's just amazing. The detail that Quintus does, it just makes such a difference. So I am now, once this dries, we're gonna start working on this section. And we have all of this to do, all of these Quintus parts to put on there. So I will be right back. All right. We got the main instrument panel done, which is just absolutely cool as heck. So I'm going to put that down inside the cockpit. It has a nice little area down there for it. It has a little ridge on the part, and it has a little bit of a hole that it snaps into. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue down there. A little more. And we're going to slide this thing. That'll sit right down in there. And then really the last piece that we have is this piece here to go down over. And there we go. So technically, step 1 and 2 of the Apache are done. I'm going to take some still shots of it as well, just to show you what it looks like, because I think sometimes this camera angle and lights puts a little bit of a glare on it. Turn it down a little bit. Knock down the... Got one of these lights where I can turn down the lighting a little bit. That's a little bit better. So Quintus makes an amazing set of decals. It has just transformed this cockpit into something so cool. So done with step 2. Well, step 1 and 2. So again, thank you guys for subscribing. Hope you're finding it interesting, and we'll see you for the next step. Thanks, guys.